Welcome back to our Profit Era, where we talk about all things money, mindset, and business. It's your host, Cindy, your financial bestie and fractional CFO. And today I want to talk about my experience attending the Dragon's Den 20th anniversary event. So let's get into it. Now, if you're not familiar with Dragon's Den, it's a show where Canadian entrepreneurs go to pitch their product or services, hoping for an investment from one of the dragons. Now, the dragons have invested in lots of companies and they've also built successful businesses themselves. I've been watching this show since I was 14 years old. It's always so fascinating to hear the pitch ideas, the products, services, and most of all, I'm just sitting there listening to the numbers. Now, a lot of businesses on the show overvaluate their company, so they get grilled on the numbers. Some founders know their numbers, you can tell, and others have no idea and go completely quiet when a dragon asks a numbers related question. Now, attending this event was like full circle for me, just with watching the show at such a young age. Plus, when I was in university going through my business degree, I remember Dragon's Den had auditions in Abbotsford. University had sent out emails if anyone was interested in volunteering. So I ended up volunteering. And it was so cool. I got to meet the producers, got to meet the people pitching their products, got some samples. I even have my volunteer shirt still, which is pretty cool. So for me, once I heard about this event, I was like, there's no way I'm not going to go. I was really hoping they'd have an event in Vancouver, but unfortunately, the only events they had were in Toronto or in Calgary. So a flight to Calgary is about an hour and a half from Abbotsford. So it was totally doable to do a day trip. Now, I was limited for flight options. So I had to leave Abbotsford Saturday morning at 5:30 in the morning. I landed in Calgary at 8ish, got breakfast, changed into my clothes, just relaxed a bit before I headed to the venue. Now, once I got there, it was surreal just seeing all the different businesses in the marketplace, seeing the dragons face to face, seeing all of the people attending, and it just felt so real. It's so different seeing something on TV and then witnessing it in real life. The panel discussions were so good. And the meet and greet, we didn't get a chance to speak to the dragons, but it was just so nice to just say hi and see them up close. The biggest takeaways for me were number one, Manji talked about how even having successful business, she hears no all the time or opportunities not working out for her. So she has changed the way she views the word no. So, no just means next opportunity and to keep going, regardless of how many rejections and objections you're getting, which I found was really helpful because when you think of these big successful companies, you think that they have it all, they get all the yeses, but just hearing her say that, it just put things into perspective that just like small entrepreneurs here know, bigger entrepreneurs hear it too. Number two is that they all had roots in Calgary. So Manjeet, Michelle, Arlene, even Drew, they all had some connection to living in Calgary, such a small town. And what they really emphasized was perfecting your craft locally before you start to scale globally, which really put things into perspective. You need to be good at one thing, get so good at it, get feedback, make sure it works before you expand to other provinces and other countries like the US. We're always in such a hurry to build and expand right away. And that's where all like the leaks, the money problems, all those things start to happen because you haven't built the systems to begin with. So, really start off small. And my third key takeaway was own where you're from. A lot of us feel like we're from a small town, like I'm from Abbotsford, like it's an hour away from Vancouver. It's a small city that a lot of people don't know about. And I have downplayed it in the past. Like, I can't get to the Dragons level because I'm born in Abbotsford, BC. I don't have that many connections, or I don't have the same opportunities as someone in like New York, Vegas, LA. But hearing the Dragons and seeing them really puts things into perspective. They've all built successful businesses and have expanded, and their impact is like global. So, really own your roots and where you come from because your story matters. So, those are my key takeaways. I also spoke to a lot of great business owners. Shout out to Krista from DVL Designs. We're going to be recording a podcast episode soon. When I saw her on TV and her pitch, her energy was so magnetic. And I just thought, I need to become friends with this girl. So I did reach out to her by email originally to get her on a podcast episode. So we finally connected in person. I bought one of her necklaces. Guys, her necklaces are so beautiful. You need to get a piece. I'm going to have her go into more detail on how she created DBL designs, how she creates all of her jewelry, and just so you can see like her magnetic personality and how much positive energy she just like magnifies in like all her work. Even online, if you follow her on social media, you'll see like her energy. She's so positive, so uplifting. So I'm really excited about that podcast, and just meeting her in person was super cool. Also, some of the other entrepreneurs were really amazing as well. Some of them haven't been on aired yet on TV, so they had to be careful about what they were telling me, or what they can tell me if they are a guest on her Profit Era. So I'm super excited to finally see these episodes being aired and actually seeing the pitches live. It was also just so interesting and cool to hear what happens like after the pitch, after they get the deal. The Dragons are saying sometimes the due diligence process after can take months to like years. Or a lot of times, what they hear as a pitch doesn't reflect during the due diligence process. So that was interesting to hear as well. And they were saying a lot of times it has become hard to like get their money back through like their investments. It's like investing in like the stock market. Like some of your portfolio is going to do well, some of it's not. So it was really interesting hearing that perspective too about what the dragons see and what they deal with behind the scenes, because a lot of times you're just so focused on like the entrepreneur side, but just hearing the other side was really cool too. So the event was from like 11 to 5. They had different panel discussions with some of the entrepreneurs that pitched. And then they would have like a photo session with the dragons, have a little break, and then the next panel discussion would start. There's about like, I think 3 to 4 like panel discussions. It was just very cool to just experience it in real life. Once the event was done, my flight wasn't until like 11:30 p.m. So lucky enough, the mall was open till like 9. So I walked around the mall after the event, grabbed some food, watched a movie to kill time, had dinner, and then I headed to the airport. So it was like the perfect day, but at the same time, I was so tired, exhausted, had so many thoughts and things running through my mind that it just felt so surreal, and I needed a couple days to just let it sink. It's been so great to experience, and I'm so glad that I went. And hopefully, they have more events. I also just want to say how excited I am to be able to connect with these businesses, talk about cash flow, profitability. I did some mini interviews that I'll be sharing soon as well with some of the founders so you can hear their perspective on their experience on the again, what money lessons they wish they had learned sooner, and just some like tips and like advice they'd give to another entrepreneur. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions about how you can find similar events or just connect with the right type of people, send me a DM at It's Cindy Kumar. I'd love to connect with you and support you on your business journey. And I just want to say that don't be afraid to travel to like a different city if you see like an event that really inspires you, or you feel like you can make good connections with people, really just put yourself out there, because what's the worst that could happen? I feel like just going to that event just changed my perspective on like everything. So yeah, I'm super excited being back, just hearing all like the advice, connecting with different business owners. I feel like there's so much you can learn from other people that aren't in like your industry or run the same business as you. There's so much we can learn from other people. So that's it for today's episode. I'll see you on the next one. PS, season 2 of our profit era is gonna be so good. Now, as I'm up leveling in my business, I want to help you guys do the same as well. So I'm being really intentional with the guests that I'm having, the types of conversations we're having. I'm going to have more businesses that have been in business longer, like 5 to 10 years, doing $7 million to $35 million in sales. Really helping you up level and think growth and scalability in your business. So stay tuned for season 2. It's going to be in January 2026, which is coming up so quick. So I'll see you in the next episode.